Okay, welcome. So Ed Talks, we are at Herzliya High School for the Cape South African Jewish Board of Deputies Pesach Unity Seder. I'm Ed, as you know by now. I won't tell you anything more about me. And on this edition of Ed Talks, we are going to be hosting about 60 of our friends, close supporters, allies, members of our non-Jewish community. And we are going to treat them to as close to an authentic Pesach Seder as we can get. So behind me, you'll see we've got the tables beautifully laid out, and that's thanks to my team of Mika, Josh, and Mandy. Pomegranates and insects and the 10 plagues and the whole spiel. And we've got Rabbi Sam Thurgood and members from the Herzliya Jewish Life and Learning Committee and the Interfaith Committee that's going to lead the Pesach Seder, a shortened version. We've got beautiful Pesach Seders, which I'm going to just show you a little bit. And then we've got the choir from the Herzliya Weitzman Primary School that's going to be singing with us. So this is the Pesach Seder, and it's jam-packed with our, you know, the favorites, Dayenu, Manish Tana, Vahisha Amda. I can't open this now. And you can see this is the table as I walk through. We've even got the little mini Seder plates, if you can see there. There's the Seder plates. And there. So it's going to be an incredible evening. We're going to speak to a few of our friends. We're going to get some footage of the singing in that, and the Seder, and the I was going to say benching, but the praying. So stay tuned, and maybe you'll pick up a few tips for your own Pesach Seder. Right, so the Pesach Unity Seder, hosted by the Cape South African Jewish Board of Deputies. We're going to hear a lot of kids singing, so that's okay, young Thurgood, you can make a noise. And my first guest for our Pesach Unity Seder Ed Talks is, I'd say, outside of my mother, is one of my biggest fans. I'm proud to say it. He messages me all the time, so I'm happy to welcome Rabbi Sam Thurgood to Ed Talks.
Hello, everyone. Keeping it kosher over here. I don't know if you know, Daniel's not a professional videographer. You'd think it from the quality of these videos, and yet it is something he feels obligated to say in every video.
Well, now I don't have to say it, so thank you.
It's true.
You forgot to introduce me as Ed.
He is Ed.
Yes.
He also goes by Daniel,
yes,
but mainly Ed.
So, Rabbi Sam, thank you so much to you and Herzliya and the JLL team, the Interfaith team, for the students, for leading the service. It was a lot better than me singing Manish Tana.
Your Manishna is pretty good. I've heard it and it's impressive. But I thought if we're going to give the message to the interfaith community of what Pesach means to us, you get your rabbis and your community leaders standing up and talking about it. Yeah. That doesn't really show it. The fact that our children have been taught and are able to do something so special in Unify Seder, that's what makes the difference.
One takeaway, what would you say that why it's important to have a function like this?
I'm going to give you two. I hope that's okay.
Yes,
there we go. I can't hold myself back to only one. You can edit it out if you want. But number one is, in the words of the late great Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, he says, it says in the prophecies of Bilam, Badad Yashav, we're a nation that dwells alone. That's not our destiny. That's often the situation in which we find ourselves. But we can have friends, we should have friends, and we reach across and make friends. And the other one is the famous words of Yeshayahu, of the prophet Isaiah, Or la Goyim, to be a light unto the nations. The light of Torah is so beautiful and so bright. What an opportunity to share some of the deep, timeless messages of Pesach that come from our story, our tradition, and have positively influenced the course of the entire world. What a blessing to be able to share that with others.
Well, I think tonight's going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to the Weitzman kids. I'm looking forward to you leading the service.
Thank you, Daniel.
Looking forward to that, but more for the kids singing. So I'm glad that you're finally on Ed Talks. We're going to share it far and wide. I think this is going to reach like 100,000
every episode
views.
That I've seen, I've been waiting. Maybe one day I'll be able to get on.
Personally, Pesach is my favorite festival because it's got all the elements of a really good book, in my opinion. It's got mystery, we've got Egypt, we've got pharaohs, we've got the Nile River, we've got tragedy, there's slavery, there's persecution, we've got coming of age, the story of how Moses grew up, we've got love, the love of a mother for her child, we've got miracles and awe, we've got 10 plagues, we've got a burning bush, we've got a dramatic ending when the sea parts, and then of course at the end, we've got the Israelites who became free. And there's lots of entertainment, and it's normally a big favorite. I'm sure the kids will agree with me. Big favorite, Pesach? Absolutely. But there's so much more to the story. What does freedom mean to our Jewish community? What does freedom mean to South Africa, post-apartheid? What does freedom mean to the world? in terms of freeing us from whatever wars and destruction there is, and looking forward to peace. So then you have to ask yourself, well, once you're free, what comes next? And for me, with freedom comes responsibility. In my mind, and I never ever do, I never paraphrase Nelson Mandela because I don't think he can. So if you'll excuse me, I'll read the quote that I think sums it up for our board of deputies and I think for us as a community. As Nelson Mandela said, to be free is not merely to cast off one's own shackles, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. And I hope and pray that we can all do that. And I just want to warmly welcome you all to what I hope will be a very memorable evening.
Welcome to our Seder, Chag Sameach, and a joyous celebration to all.
So would you like to go the chorus for us? Yeah. That would really give a nice frame and some consistency. So the chorus is one word, as you heard, Daye, and it goes like this. We'll try this. Try like this. I am here with someone that scared me earlier because I threatened to give her table food last, and then she just gave me a look, and I said, right, you can eat first. Is Minister Glynis Breitenbach. Glynis, come in. Well, you'll always be our minister. Glynis, welcome to Ed Talks.
Thank you.
This is our little podcast that we try to show the community what's happening, and behind us, everyone's having some soup and knedel.
Lovely dinner.
Brisket and Simmons. How was the Seder? How are the
Wonderful.
kids?
Loved it. The kids were great.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Marvelous.
And have you been to a Seder of this kind before?
Not this kind, no.
Okay.
So
In terms
what-
of who was here, there were about 60 people here, and it's a mixture of Jewish community and non-Jewish community friends. What's the importance of something like this?
Well, it's important, that there are Jewish people and non-Jewish people, because we need to, mix with other people, especially in these times.
Yeah.
But what stood out for me about this Seder, what was really beautiful, is the highlighting of the tradition.
Yeah.
The kids carrying forward the tradition, the old
Yes.
people participating, laughing,
You're
loving
calling
it.
me old. You're not old.
Not you, darling. Michael. Michael's old. So everybody's saying, I did this when I was a kid and now I'm still doing it. It's
Yeah.
wonderful. That's what keeps us who we are,
Yeah.
is tradition. Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what our Chagim are all about and what Pesach's all about.
Yes.
And just wishing you a Chag Pesach Sameach.
Thank you,
And
and
thank you
you.
for all the work you do and representing the Jewish community. And please God, we'll have more simchas like this.
Oh, it's beautiful.
future.
It's lovely. And thank
Great.
you. And thank you for inviting me.
That's a pleasure. Okay, so I'm here with Rabbi Greg Alexander, who, unfortunately, this is your last Pesach in Cape Town for the recent future.
Don't chase me away. I'm still here
not.
till the middle of June.
The middle of June. Well, welcome to Ed Talks, Rabbi.
Thank you so much.
It's happy to have you here, and I think we just had an incredible Pesach Seder. I've had remarks from everyone that's sitting here just about the atmosphere, the mixture between you and Rabbi Sam, the students and the kids singing. I mean, the kids singing
Amazing.
were amazing.
Beautiful.
For you, why you've been involved in a lot of interfaith work over the years and work closely with the board and with other organizations. Why is something like this important, especially during these times?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think during these times, it's obvious why we need to be coming together. But I'll tell you why I think tonight was so important is that sometimes interfaith work feels like you stay on the surface. So you talk about, so nice, you say shalom, we say salam, and you don't really try and go deeper. But there were a couple of moments tonight where I felt like, looking around the room, I saw some nods of understanding, or there were some thoughtful heads.
Yeah.
The Hisha Amda particularly, the fact that Jewish history has not been an easy history and that there have been people who have risen up to try and defeat us, but we are still here. And I think that there were important things that people said that weren't shallow or surface.
Yeah.
They were deep and meaningful, and people were willing to go there and then have conversations about that. And that's the best kind of interfaith event you can do.
Okay, so when you go to London, a tip: don't go to an Arsenal game wearing a Spurs T-shirt
No, I wouldn't do that.
because you might not make it out the stadium
I
alive.
hear you. Thank you for that tip. I will bear it in mind.
Well, Rabbi, just safe travels. Thank you for the work that you do, and thank you for just bringing some additional Yiddishkeit to our Pesach Unity Seder.
Thank you for inviting me, and Chag Sameach, everybody.
Thanks so much. Okay, so the Pesach Seder is heating up. We just had brisket and simmus, and one of our guests that have come all the way from Johannesburg, but he was in Cape Town, so he didn't fly down just for us, although we do feel important, is the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure, Minister Dean McPherson. Minister, welcome to Ed Talks.
It's great to be with you and great to be in this wonderful building with all this wonderful food, singing and joy.
So, I mean, it was amazing. Like, the kids were someone commented earlier that it felt like a traditional Seder. Is this the first time you've been to a Seder, or have you been before?
This is, and they certainly sung better than I did. So it was nice to have them singing and not me. But yeah, it's just been wonderful to celebrate what is a really important time in the Jewish calendar, and to be with this community, which I really respect and wanted to honor by being here tonight. That's what we're all about in our department as well, is wanting to work with different communities, because we know that when we work together, when we work with different communities, we're able to achieve so much more.
You're here at a Pesach Seder, and maybe next time you're going to be at a Christmas lunch or at an iftar dinner or whatever the case is.
Well,
It's part of the role.
last week I was celebrating iftar with the Muslim community in Johannesburg. I was also in Mannenberg. Next week is Easter. So just being able to participate in all of these different cultural and religious activities is super important for us. Those are our stakeholders. Those are different faith groups. So we want to connect with them all the time.
The most important, serious question, as a Manchester United fan, are we going to finish second or third?
I'm an eternal optimist, so I'm going for second.
Okay.
Although I've said to someone once, being a United supporter is the hardest thing in the world.
Is it harder than your job?
Well, yes, definitely. Because, not only do you have to deal with the love of the sport, but you also have to deal with the psychological breakdowns that you're continuously being subjected to.
Well, the silver lining is we're not supporters of Spurs. Because that could be far worse. And on that note, Minister, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So we've come to the end of our Pesach Unity Seder. And as you can see, we were supposed to end at 8 and it's now like 10 to 9 and there's still people sitting around talking, eating the food. There's no alcohol here, so I don't know why people are still sitting behind. But clearly, the brisket and simmus that Stanley Norrie catered was absolutely incredible. The whole meal was just amazing. The evening was superb. The Weitzman kids were adorable. They sang their hearts out there. They stood facing everyone proudly singing. They wanted people to look at them, which was fantastic. The Herzliya head student and the JLL and Interfaith teams, they led the service. They explained B'chol Dor Vador, V'hisha Amda, and our guests sitting were taking notes. Literally saw people scribbling down notes, and you had people agreeing and nodding that the Jewish story is a story that everybody can resonate with. So I think this Pesach Seder was amazing. Cantor Ivor Jaffe was superb what he did with the kids. Rabbi Sam Thurgood and Rabbi Greg Alexander were masters in leading the service and the Seder. And it was just enjoyed by all of us here. There was more than 60 people, close to 70 actually, that enjoyed the Seder. So Ed Talks got to listen to a lot of people, get to talk to a lot of people. I hope our community got to experience what we do. We're trying to do a lot of positive community upliftment and community proud, being proudly Jewish. I think that's part of what we're trying to do at the Cape South African Jewish Board of Deputies. So I've spoken enough. I'm tired. I need to get home. I've had my matzah and my knedel and my tegel, and Pesach's next week. So wishing the entire community, by the time you see it, it's going to be finished with Pesach, but Chag Pesach Sameach. Hope you had great Seders. So for me, Ed, keep it Pesach actually this time, not kosher. Kosher and keep it kosher and Pesach.